Hey guys, it's Andrew here. In the last video we took a look at a subnet mask, right? And breaking down what it was all about. I drew a funny little picture here for you guys of a street and some houses on it, really to drive home this idea of what is a network and what is a host, right? And we are going to use our subnet mask. I talked about it, but now we're going to start looking at another derivative of it and the breakdown of it in binary. But we're going to use our subnet mask to determine where is the network portion of our address and where's the host portion of our address. All right. So again, looking here, we have this notation I wanted to show you guys, and this is called Cidr. It's referred to as classless interdomain routing. Now, funny name, but the real point here is this C here, and I said classless. Up until now, I've talked about classful addressing, right? This legacy system, this classful, this wasteful system where we just use IP addresses and who cares, right? And when the system first came out, there was barely anyone using IP addresses, right? We didn't have the internet like we have it today, right? This worldwide network. It didn't exist. Now, there's so many devices that a IPv4 network just can't handle everything. So we have these shortcuts like NAT, and we have to use these private IP addressing ranges. Now, later in this video series, at the end of it, we'll get into IPv6, which comes in to save the day. But for now, we're going to take a look at this older system that's still in play. And we expect this to be around for quite some time. All right, so IPv4, all right, and it's a classless system. All right, this is classless routing. Now we're looking at classless. I'll get that right someday. Classless, right? And we're going to start looking at kind of breaking away from these norms where we said a B, and a C network have a certain range that they operate in, and they have a certain subnet mask. But I just wanted to start here, and then we'll move into this classful notation. Okay, so we have this, classless notation, my bad. And so we have this A, B, and C in our classful, and we're going to move it, again, eventually we'll move into the classless side of it. But for now, 255.0.0.0 is our class A subnet mask, all right? Now I've written it out here in binary to show you what this would look like in binary. Remember, if we have a chart here, we have our, let me quickly draw this thing here, all right? We have 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, and 1, right? We can kind of draw out this chart, and we can do some basic binary counting. And we could turn around and say, all right, if I have all ones here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all ones, right, all ones, like an octet or 8 bits, if I take up all these values, right, if I converted this from binary to decimal and I took all these values, I'd get a total of 255, right? That's where this 255 is coming from, all ones in our octet, right? So just one octet with all ones and the rest all zeros gives us this class A, or this 255.0.0.8. If we have 8 here, we could also denote it as this guy right here as a /8. Okay, so this is going to be this slash notation that sometimes people call prefix slash notation, Cidr. It gets tossed around a bit, but in this slash notation here, this prefix is Cidr, not slider. This /8 here represents the number of ones in our subnet mask counting left to right. All right, so quite simply, if we come down here and we look at this B class address, all right, a /16 is we got 8 ones, 8 more ones, which is 16 total, and then all zeros, or 255.255.0.0. All right, and what we can start to see is this pattern, right? /24. Let me grab a different color here. So /24, I've got 8, 16, 24, and then 8 more zeros, so 255.0. All right. Also remember that when we looked at our address, right, I'll go down here. If I had an address of 192.168.42.15, right, and I had this 255.255 255.0, I was saying we could kind of draw a line right here, right? And over this way is our network, and over this way is our hosts, all right? And we can start to look at and see that we can actually take these binary values here, and then we can do the binary of this guy, and we're going to be able to combine the binary values and then look at them and determine where our networks and where our hosts actually begin and end. Okay, so I just wanted to give you an idea of what we're looking at here with this Cidr notation. I'm going to be using it a lot more moving forward, so I just wanted you to have a primer on what I'm talking about. And it's really all about this guy right here, this slash number. And again, the rule is going to be that if I have a slash number, the number that's after the slash is going to represent the number of ones from left to right, counting left to right, that are in my subnet mask. Okay, and then the next rule I'm going to leave you with, before we go here, a rule is that anything that has a 1 in it, right? Anytime a subnet mask has a 1 in it, any bit in the IP address that's associated with that, or this subnet mask, anytime you see a 1, this is going to represent a network bit. All right? And anytime you see a 0, it's going to represent a host bit. All right, and we're going to start to see that down here, where anything that represents these ones here is going to be associated with these network bits right here. And then anything that's going to be a 0 is going to be a host bit, something that we can manipulate and give different addresses to. Just like, the network would be our main street, right? And our hosts would be the different houses on Main Street. Okay, so in the next video, we're going to start taking a look at the actual breakdown here. We're going to be breaking down this, and we're going to continue to use what some people refer to as octal boundaries. That octal boundary being that we're not going to branch into, we're not going to go into subnetting with a 1 in here just yet. We're gonna stay on this /8, this /16, and this /24. We're not going to move outside of it just yet, but we're going to start looking at the subnetting on those and actually determining using a process that our routers use called ANDing, which is a logic gate process. We're going to use that process to determine where the network begins and where it ends, and the entire range of addresses that we have to work with. All right, and we're going to do that all using binary. All right. Now, just as a side note before I go, there are plenty of tricks and different solutions that you can use outside of the binary. If you find a system that works better for you than what I'm displaying here, more power to you, but this is going to be the tried and true method. It's going to be the slowest method though, all right? So while this is going to be tried and true, it's going to be the slowest, and in time in the future, and especially if you go for a certification, you're going to want to learn a method outside of this. But when you're first learning this stuff, this is going to be the easiest and in my opinion, the easiest, but it's going to be the most tried and true method. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next video.